I was isolated. I lost my business, war in my country, financial losses. Some of my friends died on the front line. I was experiencing emotional distress. All of this is not everything. There is still some significant aspect what inflicted emotional pain, what caused the stress and depression. I just don't want to mention everything because it sounds very unrealistic, but I was completely isolated in my head. I didn't know who I can talk to. Yeah, that was absolutely catastrophe. Catastrophe that I had to deal with. I had to manage my current condition. I knew nobody could take care of me except me myself. And I have to do something because I can't stay there and maintain my life. I have to take responsibility for the situation and find a way how to manage out from that state, how to manage my circumstances. What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to act? Without the action, without the determination to change anything in your life, nothing gonna change. The most important is the realization that you have a problem, that your current condition requires help. When you understand there is a problem, then you can build your strategy, you can build your own direction, how you get out from that situation and start analyzing what's good for you, what's bad for you, and how you can manage the situation based on the resources and circumstances you have right now. You can change in case you will be consistent and in case you are willing to apply some action, in case you are willing to change something in your life. First of all, we should determine what is depression because sometimes people confuse depression with short time, narrow condition that the stress inflicted, the momentary situation puts you in certain mood condition and you could not manage that and you feel depressed. It's not literal depression meaning, but it's the temporary state that you can manage and you know how to deal with that and you know what to do and you have decent leisure, you have obligations, liabilities that you have to deal with. You have no time to think about those problems and they are not that critical. Sometimes we have breakups, right? We have different calamities in our life and it inflict certain emotional pain, emotional damage, but that is manageable, right? That is not something we can define as depression. It's just a temporary state that we individually can manage. Depression is the condition, first of all, is the mood disorder characterized by a persistent feeling of sadness, emptiness, and a loss of interest to your life. So it has correlation with previous what I said, but this specific state lasts over than 2 weeks and you literally lose sleep, lost the taste, the flavor from your life, and you don't know how you want to live rest of your life. We should realize that it's constant mental process that we immerse ourselves and constantly ponder the problem that inflicted us in that certain state. Before that happened, you were leading normal life. When your expectations exceed the reality that you confronted, there's a disparity, inconsistency with your current reality. So that's how actually depression emerges. When we have certain expectations, we are planning our life and situation that happen to you actually puts you into certain circumstances that disrupted your expectations on life, disrupted your plans. So, how to deal with the depression, how to manage your state, how to manage your condition that you experiencing. We have different threshold, we have different barrier of pain, we have different mindset and upbringing, we have different aptitudes, preferences, proclivities, but what in common is the mental process that we experience. We experience distraught, we experience sadness, we experience apathy, we experience emotional pain. Sometimes we experience nothing and no feeling emerges. We don't want to eat, we don't want to walk, we don't want nothing. To come out from that state, you should rebuild your mindset. You should shift from one dimension of consciousness to another. It can take time. It can take some time because we're rebuilding the mindset, we're rebuilding the circumstances, we are digesting the problem, and we're reanalyzing. Sometimes with help it can be quicker, sometimes it can be longer. It depends on the degree of the problem, but overall situation is manageable. We want to facilitate the emotional pain. We want to facilitate the state. And according to do so, we should supersede that void. We should fill out this vacuum with other alternative habits, alternative mental processes. In case you are free, in case you do nothing, you have more time to think, and it exaggerates the problem. You start immerse more into the problem, sometimes analyze more. You still mental process the situation, and we have to supersede that specific condition with new one, that more positive, that more conducive, that creates new experience, that can supersede existent one. So in according to do so, what actually did what helped me? I was reading a lot. I was reading like for 3 5 hours a day. I was studying language. I occupied my mind with new knowledge, with new mental processes that didn't allow me to concentrate on the cause of my calamities, that didn't allow me to overcomplicate, that didn't allow me to think too much. Obviously, everybody who experienced a state of depression, they literally can read, because you, even when you read, it's an automatic. You reading like a robot. You're unable to concentrate. You literally don't understand what you are reading, what you're studying. That's personally what I experienced. I was reading, but that was automatic, that was mechanical, and it makes no sense from perspective of deriving information from what I read. But it creates gradual shift from that reality to new state where you shift your focus onto something more productive, something more conducive, if you wish. Day by day, week by week, changing your attention, your focus from the problem that inflicted that pain and depression to blend productivity with positive aspect of treatment. It's very important to understand. You have to start acting. You have to obtain new experience. You have to blend saturation of the pain with brand new experiences. It can be neutral, it can be sometimes even bad experience. At first you can think that creates additional pain and that you lose control and confidence, that you lose inspiration and motivation to do anything in your life. But don't rush to make conclusions, because it reduces the total degree of the temperatures of the pain that constantly repetitive, obsessive, with less painful experience. Our task is to get more knowledge, is get more experience, and get more value. So we have to start up new activities, create new hobbies, be more social, communicate more with different people. I know it's complicated, mentally exhaustive. I know you literally don't want to do that. But so far as we come to conclusion, you want to get out from depression state, you have to coerce yourself. You have to compel, do things not that tasty. You have to swallow that unpalatable pill in according to facilitate the current state and condition. You have to switch the focus into something unrelated to the problem. So gradually, your mindset will change. Gradually, you will increase your tolerance to the problem and start gathering, start saturating yourself with new communications. And that's what we are striving for. Start doing something that you were inspired about when you were young. For example, you like play guitar. You find equilibrium listening to the classic music or play piano, or you feel like experience meditational state when painting. It not necessarily can be something creative. You can drive a car or you can do some extremes, for example, watching a sport or maybe playing a football or playing some kind of a game. Push yourself a little into the society. Start obtaining new exotic experience. Maybe it would be great for you to travel a little, to go to the forest, just to look around, listen to birds singing. Take a try to saturate yourself with the new colors. That's the way how you can get out from that state. I don't want to sound super repetitive, but that's really important. What helped me, as I said, I started learning, I started reading a lot. I walk a lot. I was in a foreign country when that happened. I was isolated. I could not communicate with no one in that country because they don't speak my native language and they don't know English, and I couldn't communicate with them in English. I was doing physical activities. I was doing a sport. I was going to gym, was trying to exercise, and I want to recapitulate. First one, we do physical activity. Second, we read. We are studying. You can choose one. You can choose studying a language, or you can choose reading. I don't know your personal proclivities. I don't know your personal preferences. What helps you to feel relaxed? What helps you to put in the state of meditation? What calms you down and helps to abstract from other world? Drawing helps, playing different instrument helps. Social engagement. You have to communicate more with different people. Maybe you can go to different clubs, certain clubs where people gather together and they discuss their problems. So those 5 things that can help you to get out from depression, those 5 things can literally facilitate your condition. Yeah, that's what have to help. In case you know any different techniques, write down below in comments. In case you would like to add something, you can write down in comments and share your thoughts, what you think about that. I would appreciate in case you subscribe. I provide different insightful information about different psychological topics, and I'm trying to be useful. I hope you will get well. I hope your relatives or whoever struggling with depression will get better. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.